Hey, yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none must slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians. And Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wind up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them thing priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nor the rice yet. So a marshal, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese slang. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none must slippy. Guyana, we say big up on the city. There's enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, every master one up fully. A one-time records, a 592, we think them. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey, yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none must slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians. And Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wind up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them thing priceless. Timber bauxite. We're ready to go with Courdel Jones. You know it's gonna be real from 8 to 9. Bringing vibes you can feel. News, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way.
Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today. We'll keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way. In every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we've got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, or toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. Running to the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects. It's where people meet. We're wired to your world. We got the news on Livewire. There's nothing to lose. Livewire, turn and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. Today is the 28th of July, 2025. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. You were able to go out to some of the public meetings that they had across the country for the various political parties, and you were able to make a determination at least who you'll be supporting at this next election, what their plans are, what they have in store for you, your children, the people before you, everybody, what they have in store for everybody. And you guys will now be able to make more informed decisions. Morning to all the people joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. And special good morning to the persons joining us in the comment section. Pamela Gopi, morning to you. Rahima Murali, Sunil Raghubir, good morning. Ganesh Bharat, Dunat Prasad. Vishnu Narain, morning to you. Sridat Rabindranath, good morning. Rajendra Singh, good morning to you. Alan Khan, Abdul Latif. Roots Guyana, good morning. Lloyd Lal, morning to you. Salome, Chris, Prem Prashad, morning. Jamila Kayum, Ronald Jones, good morning to you. Dial Sukram, Umar Sharif, Joan Abidjan, Sunita Prasad, Ricky Knott, Robert Ramp, morning to you. Nadia, morning. Wazim Nabi, Prasad Pati, Rajendra Sobaran, not Sibaran, Sobaran, Ravindra Sobaran, morning to you. Data Nandalal, Naz Ali, good morning. Walter Fisher, good morning to you. Dianan Suku, Tosiram Chetty, Anita Williams, Denise Ramlal, good morning. Eunice Raghubir, special good morning to you and the rest of the family. Joseph Satar, good morning. Gil Ian, morning. Pushram Kishore, Balwant Danraj, good morning to you. Carla Thomas, morning. Who else we got here? Sherry Ramdai, good morning to you. Savitri Rose, good morning. Abdul Hamad, morning to you. Leslie Mongol, morning. Don Alfonso, Sunita Desmond, morning. Maureen Razio, Suknandan Bud, Corinne DeClue, good morning to you. Intiaz Bacchus, Chef Rocky, Sarah Mosley, good morning. Betty Chris Ann Hill, Mala Samwaru, good morning to you. June Taylor, good morning. Who else we got here? All right, I can't make it all the way down to the bottom. Alim Ali, Henry Jagdio, morning to you. Anybody that I didn't call, I didn't scroll all the way down, is a lot to you. Thank you guys for the continued support. I met a lot of you guys, excuse me, during my coverage of the on the campaign trail for 2025. I was really happy to meet a lot of you who came and said hello. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for being here every morning that we are on Livewire, right? Now, before I get into the usual thing, I want to take some time and say to the Guyana Police Force, you guys need to do better. I understand that an effort is being made. I understand that there have been improvements, but you guys need to do a little better. And whilst I am calling out the guy in the police force too, I'm calling out women as well. You guys need to do better, take a stand. And if this is the path that you're going down, hold firm, go down that path for the safety of yourself and your children. Right? I've told y'all on this show here before, where I live currently, on more than one occasion, I had to intervene in relation to domestic violence issues, not in the homes of other persons, but it was happening in a public space. So I wasn't going to stand by and allow what was taking place to take place in front of me. Now, one of the persons who was involved in one of these issues, because it was two separate females, one of them, after the first issue, took the guy back, right? It continued, and she would have moved to the courts to have him blocked from coming close to her and unable to come to the dwelling, right? And I said hats off to her after the fact, because when she locked him up initially, she was the one who told them to release him. That has passed. She get into whatever issue she got again, and she decided, all right, this is it. For the safety of her child and herself, this guy gotta go, right? Now she gets the restraining order. All of a sudden, this guy disappeared. The police can't find him. They know we dead, nothing. Can't find him, right? Babs, last night now, I am coming home around 6:37. Around that time, I see a lot of neighbors in the driveway. So, the man hiding in there. So I'm like, who? So it's the same guy that she has the restraining order against. Now, this lady gone out with her daughter, It's not his daughter. She gone out with her daughter. The guy's hiding in the yard. She has a restraining order against him. He comes again. So now it's this morning I'm hearing that after the restraining order and before the incident that happened last night, this guy go to the lady workplace. I don't know if he hit her, cuff she in her face or bust up over her eye. Now this lady working at a Chinese store with armed security. You understand? And this was allowed to happen at a Chinese store with armed security. So the security and arrest him, protect the lady who working at the Chinese, nothing at all. Right? So come in last night, had to put him out the yard, because I come and I find him in the yard, put him out the yard. And now we're waiting again for the police to come and arrest this man. So I am asking the guy in the police force, especially those at Vreeden Hoop Station, to put a little effort in finding Francis. Right? Please put a little more effort in finding Francis. This lady has followed the procedure. She went, she makes her report, she got your restraining order. He is still assaulting her. He is still assaulting her. So I'm asking the guy in the police force here to please put some extra effort. She has a daughter that is not more than 5 years old, and something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. This guy comes in here drunk and going on. They had to replace her door because he kicking down the door and broke apart the furniture in the place. I don't want to relate everything here to you, but oh Jesus, if you see the things this man is doing to this woman, they got a property next to us where nobody lives. A setup, it flooded and all kind of thing. The man threw all the lady clothes, all she bed, sheet, everything over there. So, guy in a police force, especially those at Vreeden Hoop Station, I'm asking y'all to put some extra effort in looking into this lady's matter. Look, the situation is so dire. I am sitting here with my surveillance cameras on just to ensure You understand? I got to sit down here looking at my cameras because I don't want to see the lady and get injustice, but some more needs to be done, right? Some more needs to be done. I'm done with that. Anyway, that aside, let me get back to cricket. So somewhere over the weekend, I noticed that, and we can come to Essequibo shortly. I noticed an article. I sent it. I usually send these things to myself so that I can access them later, but I don't see it in my WhatsApp and I don't see it in my Facebook Messenger. But there was an article of how, in relation to, as Mohammed saying that he was going to be going after the 1%. I don't know if anybody has it. Please send it to me on Messenger, Sally Jones, or anybody. If y'all see it, please send it to me on Messenger or send it to me on WhatsApp if you have my WhatsApp number. I don't know where it is. I wanted to share that with you guys this morning, but I usually send these things so I could always click back on the link, but I don't see it anywhere. Anyway, I just want people to understand the same guy who's saying he's going to go after the 1% in Guyana is part of the 0.1% of Guyana. So the 1% he's talking about is the successful people in this country. People who work hard, build a business, people who study for years, become doctors, lawyers, those high-paying careers. You understand? People like those. You can get 1 and 2 people who do the little jiggery-poogery to get there too. But these, you see the 0.1%, the richest of the rich, the richest of the richest of the rich, that's us. Right? So for me, hearing that he going after the 1%, it don't make no sense. Because you're part of the 0.1%. You got more money than the 1%ers. Right? You have more money than those people. And a lot of those persons, not all of them, a lot of those persons in the 1%, they didn't do like you, sir. They're not accused of tax evasion. They're not accused of gold smuggling. They got persons in that 1% who start the business from scratch. I used to work with one of the owners of a security service. His daughter used to work in communications many years ago. And one time for her birthday, we went to their house. She had a little gathering. And when I tell you, it was a mansion. This was at least 3, 4, probably about 5 lots in one, the size of this house. Everywhere you go in this house and you look around, you're in amazement, right? And I was like, man, this man could make all this money. How he make it? And one day, me and the daughter sat and we were talking. And she explained how this guy started this business. And not even the current business, not the security business that he's in. He started this business with a small amount of money, another business. And he grew it into the security service that we see today. It's not the best security service of today. But in my day, when I was much younger, my early 20s and stuff, those were the only security service you used to hear about. They all over the place. You understand? So people like that gentleman built his business from the ground up. Right? Built his business from the ground up. People like us collected an already established business. You think Hadia from Hadi's World start Hadi's World? No, that's her father. You think us start Mama's Enterprise or the gold thing or the... No. And you know something? The General Secretary of the PBP spoke about this issue between Amir and Az. But I'll tell you this. I got more respect for Amir than Az. I don't know where Amir getting money from, where he riches come from. But I'll say this to you. When you look at the two, right? Muhammad's enterprise was established many years ago. Many years. That's the father's business. Hattie's World, many years ago. Right? When you look at Amir, and me and Amir aren't friends, I've never spoken to Amir in a personal conversation or a WhatsApp or nothing like that. I don't know the guy personally. I know of him. Right? But when you look at the Sheriff Empire, right? The diversification of the Sheriff Empire literally happened under Amir, right? So initially, all we knew of was Sheriff Security. Then they had Sheriff Hospital. And what I'm saying is, you can see the evolution of the business under the leadership of Amir. Under Mohammed, all you're seeing is the money spending and he this and that. And that's the difference. So that Sheriff Security. Then they go and bus Sheriff Hospital. Then they go and bus Sheriff Construction. Then they go and bus Sheriff Bar. Then they go and bus Sheriff News Network. You could see him building his empire. And like I said, I don't know where the initial money came from, but I do know that we didn't have we didn't have all them sheriff this and sheriff the back in the day. Right? When I was small, the only thing sheriff you know was Sheriff Nightclub on Sheriff Street. You understand? That's the only thing sheriff you knew about. So you could see the difference between the two. And mind you, I'm not saying Amir is a peach. I don't know his background and them kind of thing. But what I'm saying is, as a businessman, you could see that he took over something and he built on it. He built on it. Which business you could say in the Mohammed conglomerate? Well, you ain't got to know. You could say, well, this guy conceptualized a start on his own and make into something. Joker. But this morning, I really want to focus on As. As doing a lot on himself. Well, I didn't even know. Okay, thanks, Terrence Green, for sharing it with me. Thanks. Let me see if this is the same Terrence Green. Let me see. Hold on. You. All right, let me see. Let me see. No, this is a whole different monster. It's a whole different monster. Thanks to the info, Terrence Green. Thanks for sharing. What's this? Just a second, folks. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So as I was saying, let it try there and sort out itself. Let it try it and sort out itself. Because at the end of the day, whatever feud they have, we don't need it spilling over into our issues that we have here in Guyana that we're dealing with. Moving on. So, AFC had a meeting on Front Road. I mean, ALP had a meeting on Front Road. No. Wait. It's the AFC had a meeting on the Front Road. Oh, shucks. We don't even know the difference now. Right? We having so many iterations of the AP and new AFC, we can't tell what is going on. So, the political brains behind T. Mama's party is PNC. The brains behind the AFC is still PNC. What's this lady? Forward Guyana. Same thing. So what you have, right, is the PNC splinter off into all these other groups. Look how boring that's going terrible at this window behind me. But the PNC that splinter off into all these groups and still trying to play like it's something new. Simona Brooms at an AFC meeting is still APN UAFC. Amanza at a Forward Guyana meeting is still APN UAFC. As and Odessa at a Team Muhammad's meeting is still PNC AFC. At the end of the day, you guys had probably still got a little bit of taste in your mouth from that period. Right? At the end of the day, you still have a bitter taste in your mouth for that period. This woman on the podium here left her party to start her own party and campaigning with AFC. So she's not even trying to win votes to her own party. Or I don't know, she's trying to pull AFC votes. But what are you doing there? Right? So it's a clear case of the ALP not getting the traction they were expecting. So now you got to join with AFC, but this is not official. This is not official. The time for that gone. So Simona should focus on campaigning and getting her own support. But I just want to show you that when you hear Nigel Hughes talk about, oh, it was a different dispensation, I was not there at that time, I didn't know. Do you remember I stepped away from politics, you know, I stepped away from politics. It's the same individuals from that period he has with him. The persons that Nigel Hughes shock out, right, were utensils. Sherrod Duncan, Jarita. Yeah, we getting Elijah Vex. We getting the Vex. They were utensils. Sherrod, Jarita, and opposition forever, Ricky Ramloop or whatever this called. They were utensils. And those are the persons he shock out. He didn't keep anyone that could help him develop the party. Well, he had to get rid of Sherrod because Sherrod being in a set of stupidness. You understand? But as far as I know, Jarita didn't have a bad track record of corruption under the Alliance to Change. Right? She didn't. And the fact that these guys are the same persons who are at the highest level. So the AFC still has tricky pissing David Patterson, who has, I think he has the biggest testicles in Guyana, even bigger than Criticone. I see people showing up critical all over the place. I don't know. But even bigger than Criticone, to stand on any platform and talk about corruption and procurement process. I think David Patterson is one of the most, it's like David ain't even got face. It's just like a skeleton bone showing. You can't even call it bare face. You gotta call it skeleton face. He ain't got no skin on his face. That's how bare he face bare. You understand? Cathy Hughes. And those are the persons they have front and center. Those are the persons they have front and center. Kemraj Ramjatan. All the accusations against them. And mind you, you notice none of them is sued nobody for the allegations that met against them. David Patterson is sued about the scale. He is sued about the unsolicited bid he took to the cabinet. He ain't sued nobody for saying that. Cathy Hughes into a soul for saying that she used to give your own company contracts. And that should tell you a lot. You realize Kemra Dramjitan into a soul for when they say he did share away gun license. Well, not share away. People have to pay for gun license something. You realize he into a soul. And in this day and age, and as soon as you talk something but somebody not true, they carry it to court, guy. They play the boy, you get it sued. Right? So the AFC is just a recycled Granger administration. Just like T. Mohammed's Tabitha, former Minister of Public Service, and the rest, PNC members of parliament. Right? PNC members of parliament. These guys are... I try to find words that are not abusive. These guys are a pack of jokers. A pack of jokers. After showing that they're willing to do nothing to upgrade the lives of Guyanese when they had a chance. They seeing all the problems in opposition and they moved to fix none when they were in government. What impact Simona Brooms had on the mining sector as minister or minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources at the time? What significant impact, what project, what policy she put forward whilst in that portfolio that anybody could talk about that benefit miners significantly? What did you do? You talk about going in the back and bringing women out of Kaimu and trafficking in persons. What legislation you put in place to prevent trafficking in persons, Simona? And I'm not a guy in this critic. Nigga talk out of the way. I ask you a legitimate question. What have you done during your time that people must say, yes, give Simona another chance? I talk about a story in Bartica with you and a teacher guy, Simona Brooms. Please come forward and say that's not true. The teacher in Bartica that you and him had some kind of relations. Say that's not true, Simona. The DV situation between you and the teacher in Bartica. When I said DV, I mean domestic violence. And not he beating you. The other way around. Right? Anybody on this show right now, you go to Bartica and ask any Bartician about that information. And y'all can get it corroborated. I'm done with that. So guys, His Excellency had a live broadcast. Before I get to that, Essequibo, big up yourself. That was a massive turnout at that rally in Essequibo there on Saturday. The love was there. Again, as I said, I met a lot of persons who look at the program, and it's so heartening to see that the following is so wide. Thank you guys for the continued support here on Livewire. We really do appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Currently, all 600 of you watching me right now, right? It means a lot to us here, and it shows us that the effort we put forward is being appreciated out there. So again, thank you for tuning in. And Essequibo, it was a beautiful sight. It was a skin growing, just remembering. From infant to the elderly. You understand? From all across the ethnic spectrum, from the darkest to the fairest. Right? I was so proud of what I saw in Essequibo. The unity, the togetherness, and the appreciation of persons in Region 2 for the efforts of their administration, whether they're PVP supporters or not. Even if you're a Win Win. If you're a PNC, if you're a APNU, your government. No matter how you feel, it's your government. And Essequibians showed their appreciation. They understood that it is the role of government to better the lives of citizens, build roads, build hospitals, build schools, make their lives better. That's the role of the government. They understood that. But you know what they understood even better? What they understood that was even better is that not every government understands what they're supposed to do. So they were appreciative of an administration who knew what they had to do. Build out the community roads, put in housing schemes, put in water treatment plants, and I'm talking about Essequibo, put in solar farms, right? Relief for rice farmers and just farmers in general. And I could go on and on and on. But that is what Essequiboians realize. Whilst governments are supposed to do things for the people, not all of them have the people in mind. And I feel like they remember 2050 to 2020 and what it was. Right? Especially in Essequibo. I was in Essequibo briefly as the regional information officer under the APNU AFC administration. Remember, I tell y'all, my aunt was their commissioner. I was still doing media work then. I had years in media work then. Right? They sent me to Essequibo to be the regional information officer. I remember many a meeting, persons complaining, the REO in sign the documents, the REO in this. If you see the pile of documents packed up on his desk. Mind you, they brought me from Georgetown to work in Essequibo. No accommodations, no office, no equipment, no nothing. They just bring you from town and had you there. Had me at State House at the time. Roof leaking, all kind of thing. So the State House that you see there now, that wasn't in 2015. Well, you see trouble in there. Then move me out to say they're going to build over the State House. Right? They're going to build over State House. And then going to tell me I must go and look for some place to rent in the region and pay my rent. And I there about 2 to 3 months. No salary. I pack up and I come back to town. I've heard multiple Essequibians say Hopkinson was the worst REO they ever had. Worst. I think his father was REO many, many years ago. But Hopkinson, the worst REO they ever had. They didn't really have development in the region there under Hopkinson. Right? So now that Essequibians are getting new hospital, they do over the Stelling there. Right? They do over the boat landing at Supernam with people taking the regular boats to come through. The paving the community roads. The main road in Essequibo is in excellent condition as far as I'm concerned. From Supernam to Charity, you could drive there and you ain't got dodge no pothole and them kind of thing. At least no significant one. That I didn't notice when I be in the last. Up to Anna Regina. I didn't go past Anna Regina the last time on the weekend. But play park, safe recreational facilities for young couples and the families and them kind of thing. And aside from all the other initiatives, housing, tourism, education, all of that available right there in Essequibo. I remember talking to a bunch of persons on the gold program up there, the nursing school building up there. So again, I say to you, yes, it's a government's job to make your life better. It's a government's job to build roads, schools, bridges, whatever you could think about. Yes, it's their job. But how many governments actually know their job and actually do it? Right? That is my point. I don't care who says taxpayers' money. Which administration put it back in your pocket? Right? Amal Khan. So just let me say this right now. Right? Let me say this right now. Essequibo. Okay. So this was Wednesday. This was Wednesday of last week. I had to go up to Essequibo in a media bus because you couldn't get transportation to you couldn't drive your own transportation to Essequibo. So this year, I would allow people to say what they want, right? There's a finite amount of transportation that could get to Essequibo. The mere fact that you got to take the ferry, a finite amount. And I am saying that there is enough persons on the other sides, other political parties who support other political parties, that if there was a mass exodus of Georgetown people to Essequibo, right, it would inconvenience the people who actually traveling to Essequibo daily or Essequibians. And somebody would have posted. I'm not saying persons didn't go from Georgetown to Essequibo. They did. But not in them quantities that y'all talking about. Not in busloads, no. There's a medical team, and that's part of the PPP machinery. That's go to these things. There's security teams, and then there are other high-level PPP officials, like people in the party, that is go to all these events. You understand me? So I don't know who would have put forward this idea, but we don't have floating buses in Guyana, right? So whatever amount of persons travel back and forth from Essequibo daily, that's the same amount that had to travel during the campaign, the rally time, between the Friday and the Saturday. So I don't know how many persons you could actually get on the ferry and not inconvenience the persons who were traveling naturally daily. Also, they did have a special crossing. And at that special crossing, there wasn't this big amount of PPP people that was going over. So I don't know where to get this from, man. I don't know where to get this from, but they got to tell people something. And I understand that. You got to say something to your supporters. You have to tell them something. When they see the mammoth crowds at these PPP rallies, you have to say something to them to like quell the spirit of fear that those crowds put in them. Because remember, you tell them, we got this, we winning this. In some cases, you tell them, we sample 80,000 persons. And they get 60% of the vote. Right? So you got to tell them something. You have to tell them something. But I am saying that the majority of persons at that rally, at least 80% of them, came from the Pomeroon and the Essequibo area, Region 2. The majority of them, 80%. And that's my average. It may be more, but I ain't too good with numbers. I don't play them kind of multiply and thing game like ass and embarrass myself. You understand? I don't do them things. So that aside, His Excellency had a live broadcast where he outlined his support plan to cut poverty and cost of living in Guyana, right? He made it clear that there'll be a tax system overhaul to bring relief to Guyanese and simplicity, because sometimes we find the system is sometimes taxing to deal with GRA and the running around that you have to do. Now, President Ali promised a less complex tax system aiming to remove burdens for all income groups and ensuring more money stays in families' pockets. As we know, there's a plan to slash energy and utility costs by 50%. Now, Direct energy relief, we know, will come from the gas to shore, the gas to energy project. Electricity and cooking gas rates will be cut in half through this project, targeting, eventually making at least a cylinder gas $1,000. Eventually, right? Cutting our GPL costs. These lights that I got added here, running me a little bill. So if that cost could cut in half, if I could pay half the amount that I'm paying now, that's more money in my pocket, right? The complete VAT removal on electricity, water, medicine, and construction materials to further ease cost of living. He then spoke to strengthening social safety nets across the board in terms of expanding programs like old age pensions, public assistance grants, NIS payout, because we care, school stipends, all will be increased. Now, I'm saying to you, don't run from where you know to go to where you don't know. Again, if you look around at these parties, right? These are persons who had a chance to do these things to you, and they didn't. They didn't. Simona Bruns was a minister of government. Tabitha was a minister of government. They had all the opportunities to do these things. Now they jump in or turning the coat and say, oh, we can do it now. Right? Education is now fully covered from primary to university. And that is something that was delivered to you under the Irfanali administration. Right? So they will be continuing the textbooks being available to students. They'll be introducing transportation grants, expanding the school feeding program, and doing away with tuition and entry fees. He went on to talk about boosting incomes and livelihoods. Now, public sector salaries, based on what the president said, will raise. And the government's minimum wage will exceed $100,000 by the end of 2025. 10,000 monthly credit per child. The grants will be increased. There will be more focus on community-based economic expansion. So support for agriculture, fisheries, forestry, mining workers. You heard the General Secretary and the President talk of the development of a bank to lower interest rates and for co-investment purposes, along with skills training programs for youths and women-led enterprises, focusing on ensuring that persons with disabilities as well have an opportunity to get into business and succeed. Right? As relates to infrastructure, continuing the subsidized housing plan, improve roads and ferry services, and dedicated transport subsidies for pensioners, students, and hinterland residents. He touched on building on strong economic growth. Now, Guyana's GDP surged by 43.6% in 2024. Now, with this explosive growth in non-oil sectors, right? In non-oil sectors. So imagine your current president is talking about growth in non-oil sectors, while these other parties humming and hollering, but oil money, 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 oil money. Agriculture grew by 11%. Manufacturing grew by 13.5%. And construction grew by 30.8%. under a coalition government, all we would hear about is oil. About oil in people's hand who already got oil. That's all we hear about. Right? Now, this growth underpins the administration's ability to fund social programs and expand services. Look at our international partnerships and low carbon vision. The president spoke about this. Now, Guyana's low carbon development strategy 2030 aligns growth with stability and global climate finance. When last you hear Norton talk about anything in relation to that? When last you hear Manza talk about anything in relation to that? When last you hear Brooms talk about anything in relation to LCDS? Right? Partnerships with people or organizations like the IDB through government intervention and making these partnerships possible. It's supporting infrastructure, education, and healthcare improvements. And my thing is, with this administration, you see a plan. Now, one of the most important things to note from what His Excellency would have shared with us, no new taxes. President Ali pledged no tax hikes, no new taxes during his next term. So whether you're paying GRA in this term, you're paying next term. Right? You don't have to worry. Now, this will help avoid burdening low and middle income families during a period of transition. Right? We continue on a development trajectory that is, in a lot of places, they say second to none. Right? And persons, if they are honest, a lot of places elsewhere in this world, the cost of living is way higher than Guyana. But we won't have persons to share that information honestly here on social media. Right? They're not going to share that information honestly with you because it doesn't push the agenda they want to push. It doesn't make the PVP look bad, so they wouldn't say it to you. A lot of people who complaining about Guyana, yeah, go live someplace else. Go live someplace else. Kian Jabor, all y'all who say Guyana so bad, go, y'all go live someplace else, man. People want y'all here. Right? Go elsewhere and live. Since Guyana is so terrible, you can't make it here. Imagine you restaurant get shut down because of electricity theft. The government fault. You smuggle gold and evade taxes. Is the government fault? Oh, I know I had something to talk about, yeah. So on Saturday, let me get a video for you. Hold on. Let me get a video. On Saturday, I was heading to Essequibo. And when I was heading to Essequibo, I saw Halio, the Calio, Helio. Right? Right. So Helio. Jesus. This guy is on Facebook or WhatsApp. This guy sent me this video. Hold on. Right. Okay, so I think it's here. Good. So just let me show you this video. Download the video. Good. So on Saturday, As had his PZZ 5000 booted, right? And he came and he spoke about victimization and the government and oh Jesus. Let me see. The video got some Like certain videos you can't upload because of the coding. Let me see if I can come over here. Hopefully it does. Or I can go play it from the browser. That's not a problem. No, this doesn't look like it's uploading. But because I wanted to play the video that was sent to me so that you could see the difference of what was when Ass was there. Now, just let me explain something to you. The people at Transport and Harbor would allow you to drive onto the Stelling to dispatch of wherever produce you're carrying. Let me say you're carrying a big lady. She got to set a bag. She can't fetch it from the Stelling gate to the Stelling itself where the boats are. So there's allow you to drive on, floor or help the person and then drive off the Stelling. So you could park for a couple of minutes and then leave. But what Ass tried to make us believe is that he is being victimized and targeted. And I want to show you what took place on Saturday, right? Let me get to Ass live stream. You do a live stream. Okay, so yeah. This wretch, Ass Muhammad, really need to stop the foolishness. Now, like I said, they allow you to come onto the Stelling and you could park there and you could offload or help people offload and then move, right? This is the post Ass made. Transport and Harbor boot him for parking his vehicle on the Stelling all day. From what time did we get on the boat by? This around 9, between 9, yeah, around 9:30. Okay, wait, before I go to this video, let me show you the time Ass head to Bartico, right? Because I uploaded a video. Let me show you the time Ass head to Bartica. I posted a video of him going into a boat, and I was wondering where was the yacht? So at 9:34, you could get this on my page. I posted a video of Ass getting to Bartica, right? Look, right at 9:34. Look the time up here. Like 9:43. This is in here. Right? This is in here. That's the security coming out instead of first. As walking to second. Coming up. People not gonna hold your hand like a board to help you. Watch. Look, come, darling, step in. Right? So this was at 9:43. Ass left and went to Bartico. Right? Let me see the time of this live that he did. Just let me make it small again. Good. The time of Ass live is 5:03. So from 9:33 to 5:03, Ass left his vehicle on the Stelling. Right? Look at this guy. What's it with y'all and this gay stuff? I swear, this is the second person over the past 3 days that just randomly telling me some homosexual stuff. Bro, Elijah, are you okay? Like, bro, if you want to abuse me sensibly, right? But I've never been involved with anything gay. I don't like dildos. If that is what Asdas do, push dildos up in people, I am not interested in that. I suspect him, he looked like a funny guy. Thank you for confirming for us, Elijah, that this is what Az is on. He's pushed dildos up in people. Well, males. So I guess Doggy is being harassed at the back end terribly, right? I guess Mark DeForge is getting rear-ended daily, right? But not me, brother. I don't come around as, and if that's what as into, pushing dildo up in men, I am not in that, right? And if you are out here looking for guys that look gay, even if you think I look gay, I am saying I am not. So if you are looking for people to take to have as pushed in the mamzi, not me. right? I am not coming downstairs. I am not coming downstairs, right? I ain't gonna go and study rest, but I gonna stay upstairs. I ain't coming downstairs. Good. So, like I was saying to you, I just showed you the time that us head to Bartica, park his vehicle on the Stelling. And he believes because he is part of the 0.1%, he could park and leave his vehicle there and there are no repercussions. None whatsoever. So listen to us now when he get boot at 5:03 in the afternoon, right? So he's trying to show you that the other vehicles around him were not booted. Let's see. The rest of them wasn't there as long as you. So he show you this man fielder, right? He show you this man fielder. And I'm going to show you the difference just now. He shows you the fielder. He shows you the X trail, right? He shows you the X trail, right? But were those people there for more than 8 hours? Ask. Were they there for more than 8 hours? Ask. Now let's look at the video of when As left his vehicle there in the morning. You understand? Look. Look at here.
Oh. Hold it. Yeah.
Now, you notice, I can't pause how I upload it. I'm going to put it back on the screen. You notice there's no black fielder. There's no X-trail. So that fielder could have come there at 5:02, parked to drop off somebody, and he come out and see it. I'm vexed because fielder man and get boot and X-trail man and get boot. They weren't there all day, ass. So look, let's look again. Let's look again at what As presented to us and what the facts are. This is when As was found. So he's showing you the vehicles around him. Showing this man license plate, kind of this man didn't know nothing but ass and yes and anything. But he's showing you this man license plate. He comes around here. He shows you an X-trail, right? He shows you an X-trail. I am saying to you, As those vehicles were not there as long as you were, right? Now look at As.
Oh. Hold it. Yeah. Hey.
But there's no fielder. There's no X-trail. Let's look.
Oh. Hold it. Yeah. Hey.
Shucks, my mic the mute. But again, I'm saying to you guys, you see there's no X-trail there. You see there's no X-trail, there's no fielder there. Then people come after you as they've been dropping off the thing. So you are supposed to be booted. You are supposed to be booted. You park your vehicle there since 9:33 in the morning and gone to Bartica like a big boy. And gone to Bartica, come back 5 o'clock and then expect it to be booted. Even when government official coming from Bartica, the vehicle don't park on the station, on the Stelling. The vehicle come, it might pick them up on the Stelling and then leave, it can park outside. So are you even make it into government yet, As? So I wanted to show persons, don't be fooled by this victimization talk and he's showing you an X-trail and a fielder and oh, it's only his vehicle was booted and this and that. As, listen, Guyanese understand that you literally don't have no type of sense. None of these vehicles were here since 9 something in the morning. None of them, sir. So no, they can't receive the same treatment as you. And it can't be victimization if the transport and harbor enforcing the rules at the Stelling. You are there first.
No.
You are there first.
Hold it.
Right? There's no fielder. No X-ray. Let me take it out and start again. No X-ray.
No. Hold it.
You gotta look quick. No fielder, no X-ray. Right? And clearly the Audi moved to the Audi didn't get moved. Look, no X-ray in the car. You saw the place clear? He's the only big boy that parked on the Stelling. And then trying to tell people, bunkum, bye. Just take your boot in and relax yourself. Mind you, I'm pretty sure he went and paid 5,000, which is the fine for parking on the Stelling, and come back quietly. But victimization. Could you imagine a man that oversee the beating of individuals in his business before the business place, talking about victimization? A man who used to walk around with multiple men with guns around him, talking about victimization? One of the richest men still in this country talking about victimization. As you just sound so stupid sometimes. I just telling my friend the other day, the day I was interviewing, trying to get an interview from Acid Parfait Harmony, right? I keep asking him, and I gotta go back through the videos and see if I still have it on the tablet. I think it's on this tablet here. But he trying not to get an interview, and he is taking the photos with the people. As lean over into my ear and say, very soon, very shortly. I swear to God, strike me down if I lie for Azadeen Muhammad right now. Allah, Muhammad, Shiva. Strike me down dead if I lie on Azadeen Muhammad. I can call you right now. Azadeen Muhammad leaned over, come over to me, lean over in my ear and say, very soon, very shortly. Right? And go back to taking the photos. So I go over in here and I said, you think this is make you sound smart? And I lean back. And like he wasn't expecting it. So he looked dumbfounded. You know, like when somebody asks you a hard question, that's that stupid look he has on his face. The same thing. So I said, man, you think this is make you sound smart? And he by thing, he signally the guard by with the big beard, the one that stick with it. And he signally. So whoever started the vehicle, they're moving. And they're going. And they're trying to get the scrapes to block me. But I scraped and went through. The scrapes get scraped. I scrape too. I scrape and I'm going through. I scrape and I'm going through like y'all. You understand? Guys, y'all have a wonderful day. It's Monday. Go out there, be productive, be wonderful Guyanese. I love y'all. I was really happy to meet all of you that I would have met. Big shout out to Mr. Adams. They're in Region 2. Very busy. Mr. Arnold Adams in Region 2. Office of the Prime Minister representative on the ground on the weekend, making it all happen, working hard. Every time I see him, by the time I blink and look back, he gone. Couldn't even get a photo of the man by. Doing a lot of work up there. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to the chair. Big shout out to the REO. You guys have been very instrumental in the deputy chair as well. Oh boy. Yeah, y'all have been very instrumental in the development there in region, across Region 2. From the dredging of the mouth to the Pomeroon to all the stuff y'all been doing there. You understand? Big up yourself, buddy. Y'all did and are doing excellent work. Excellent work. Arnold Adams, after the Prime Minister representative there in Region 2. Guys, I'm out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. Keep in tune to social media. Before I go, we still waiting on them sanctions that Travis Chase talked about? Or we give up? We waiting or we give up? We waiting on them sanctions or we give up? Y'all gonna learn, you know. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all has put a lot of credibility in these people. Oh, Travis would never. Gordon would never. Oh, God, they honest. Oh, they don't lie but nothing. Travis and Gordon. Travis and Gordon. Mr. Gordon was here calling the thing, but them is the two That people's got on the highest pedestal. We're still waiting for the sanctions that Travis Chase talk about, that he'll even post on his own news entity site that he working for. We're still waiting to see them, Travis. We're waiting. Anyway, y'all be good guys. Love y'all. See y'all here tomorrow. I promise y'all interviews. So I'm definitely going to work on getting one out of the 3 that I had lined up already last week for tomorrow. Right? So I ain't going to call no names. Tune in tomorrow to see who's going to be on our guest. And as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down.